head on with the grueling daily test of survival. Here's the roadmap for our explainer today. First, the pulse of Pakistan, then street food and fashion. After that, we'll hit the energy crisis reality, and finally, coping with power outages. Section 1, the pulse of Pakistan. To truly understand a culture, you have to listen to how the people speak when they're just hanging out, being themselves. So let's step right on to those lively streets and immerse ourselves in the local language. We're going to start with a phrase you'll hear everywhere, "Seen on ha." This is the ultimate declaration of excitement among Pakistani youth. Imagine a group of friends trying to figure out what to do on a Friday night. When a brilliant plan is finally locked in, someone will inevitably shout, "Seen on ha." Literally, it roughly translates to "the scene is on," but it means so much more than that. It means it's time to party, the meetup is happening, the excitement is real. It perfectly captures that youthful, energetic, and highly social heartbeat of the entire country. Now, right on the flip side of that high-octane energy, we have chill karo. This is essentially the Urdu equivalent of saying, hey, take a chill pill. Look, life in any rapidly developing nation can be incredibly chaotic. You've got massive traffic jams, crowded markets, that intense summer heat I mentioned earlier. Tempers can definitely flare. So chill karo is exactly what you tell a friend who's suddenly stressed out or irritated. It perfectly reflects this laid-back, accommodating attitude that you absolutely have to have if you want to navigate the hurdles of a busy day without losing your mind. And then we have this truly incredible concept, jugaad lagana. I really want you to remember this term because it is the absolute core of the Pakistani spirit. To apply a jugaad means to find a makeshift, totally innovative solution to a problem by hook or by crook. We're talking MacGyver-level problem solving here. When the official system fails you or when you just don't have the right tools, you don't throw your hands up and quit. No, you invent a jugaad. This one term perfectly sets up the profound theme of resilience that we're going to dive into a bit later. Section 2, street food and fashion. Okay, now that we've got a feel for the language, let's talk about the sensory experience of daily life. This is a place where deep Islamic traditions and rich Asian influences beautifully combine. Just take a look at some of these staples. If you're walking through a local market, you'll be hit by this wave of incredible, mouth-watering aromas. First up, the samosa, a perfectly crispy golden pastry stuffed with heavily spiced potatoes or minced meat. Then, if you happen to be in Lahore, you're going to hear the loud sizzle of tawa chicken. This is chicken marinated in fiery red and green chilies, cooked right out in the open on a massive flat griddle. Down south in Karachi, it's all about the bun kebab, this melt-in-your-mouth patty burger that just bursts with local spices. For a quick snack on the go, people absolutely devour golgappai. These are delicate, crispy little shells that you fill with chickpeas and tangy tamarind water, and you have to pop them whole into your mouth. And to cool down from all that spice, kulfi. It's a rich, dense milk ice cream, usually flavored with pistachios or a hint of rosewater. It is literally a daily culinary adventure. But here's the catch. How do you actually stay comfortable while navigating these busy, food-filled streets in that blistering summer heat? The answer is the traditional shalwar kameez. See, Western clothing can be completely stifling in Pakistan's climate. The shalwar kameez, however, is brilliantly designed to allow airflow and really easy movement. But it's not just about practicality and comfort, it's a major style statement. Just picture a perfectly tailored chocolate brown kurta pajama paired with a highly textured mocha waistcoat. An outfit like that transitions seamlessly from a casual family lunch straight to Friday prayers and right into an evening formal event. It's just this perfect blend of heritage, comfort, and modern elegance. So we've built this really vivid image, right? A colorful, flavorful, stylish life. But what actually happens when the lights go out? Imagine sitting down to eat that hot tawa chicken or wearing that beautiful outfit when the ceiling fan above you just slowly grinds to a halt. Suddenly, that lively atmosphere we just talked about shatters completely. We're pivoting now from a lighthearted culture to a really heavy, sobering reality, systemic, daily load shedding. Section 3, the energy crisis reality. To really grasp what these power outages actually do to people, let's dig into a compelling academic study from Government College University, Lahore. Researchers zeroed in on 20 laborers from Liaquatabad, which is a small working-class town, to document the profound psychological toll of living without reliable electricity. And this model brilliantly illustrates their core finding. Think of infrastructure as this massive outer ring, right? It literally holds together the natural, economic, social, and political spheres of a person's life. What the researchers found is that erratic electricity and gas don't just mean you have to sit in the dark for a bit. It means that entire infrastructure layer collapses inward, applying a crushing pressure on absolutely everything inside it. For the laboring class, energy infrastructure directly dictates their wealth, their health, and their overall subjective well-being. Now, data and charts are one thing, but to truly understand the human cost, we need to hear from the people living it. One of the laborers interviewed for the study gave this devastating quote. They said, "Because of massive load shedding, life has become robotic. Instead of doing work according to our own will, we've to follow the electricity schedule." Really think about what that means for a second. You don't sleep when you're tired. You don't work when you want to or when you're most productive. You are entirely at the mercy of the grid schedule. It is a complete, fundamental loss of control over your own daily existence. It is a complete, fundamental loss of control over your own daily existence. The micro-level consequences of this are just absolutely devastating because the machines in the factories stop working during these blackouts. Laborers are forced to work much longer hours just to meet their basic daily quotas, often without a single rupee of extra pay. So they come home completely exhausted, but the power is out at home too. The heat is unbearable, the mosquitoes are swarming, and it leads to this severe, chronic sleep disturbance. And that kind of exhaustion breeds displaced anger. Spouses argue, parents lose their tempers with their kids over minor things, and here's the cruelest irony of all. Despite the power being out for half the day, the utility bills just keep rising. To pay those bills, families are forced to cut back on their daily food intake and outright ignore their healthcare just to survive. Section 4. Coping with power outages. So how on earth do they survive this? Well, this is where we pivot back to that powerful slang word we learned earlier, jugahar. When the grid fails, the people themselves must become the infrastructure. They have to rely on makeshift mechanical solutions to literally force the lights back on. Everyday citizens are forced to make incredibly practical and often astronomically expensive choices just to maintain a baseline quality of life. The most widespread jugahar out there is the portable backup generator. These things run on petrol or diesel. They are loud, they require constant maintenance, and they can cost anywhere from 20,000 to a massive 250,000 Pakistani rupees. If you want something quieter and more fuel efficient, you have to look at modern inverter generators. But honestly, those are a luxury. They often start at 300,000 and can easily exceed 600,000 rupees. For a laborer who's already struggling just to buy groceries, these backup systems are a crushing financial burden. 7.5 kilowatts. That is the typical power capacity of a normal, home-sized, portable generator in Pakistan. Now, to put that into perspective, that is nowhere near enough to run a modern, comfortable household. It's barely enough to keep a few light bulbs on, maybe power a couple of ceiling fans so you can breathe, and keep the refrigerator running so your food doesn't spoil. It is just 7.5 kilowatts of pure, unadulterated survival, chugging away loudly in the background of small shops and modest homes during these endless grid failures. Which brings us to our final thought for today. We've seen the incredible vibrancy, the mouth-watering street food, the elegant clothing, the energetic, fun slang. But we've also looked at the crushing psychological and financial weight of a failing energy grid. So I want to leave you with this question to ponder. What is actually more powerful? The systemic challenges that literally plunge an entire society into darkness? Or the colorful, unyielding jugaar resilience of everyday people who simply refuse to stop living? It's a remarkable duality, and honestly, an incredible testament to the adaptability of the human spirit. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember to keep questioning the world around you.